Good morning. In our first series of tips on a young meteorologist, I gotta get used to saying that, right? Okay, so let's talk about being a young weather enthusiast, or you're a meteorologist. You know it in your heart. So what do you do? And I'm talking about, let's say, early high school, middle school, even let's say in grade school. You're a young kid, and this is for you parents too, and you want to know what can you do to get involved in meteorology. Well, the first thing you could do is practice taking observations. Now, when I was a kid, I didn't have things like the internet. Yeah, I was in the 80s and early 90s when AOL wasn't even a thing. There was no social media. You are very, very lucky, okay? You get to have all sorts of information right at your fingertips. You have the National Weather Service right at your fingertips. You could read the discussions, see the storm live. You could see the radars. When I was a kid, I drove my parents nuts because I'd put the Weather Channel on for hours. Hours. My dad would be like, hey, let's watch the game. No. John Hope is about to come on about the tropical disturbance out in the Atlantic. Drove my parents insane. You don't have to deal with that. You can have weather information at your fingertips. But it can become overwhelming, and you'll start to hear via weather boards or weather forums, should I say, different theories, different ideas, and you don't want to get your head cluttered with all that stuff. You kind of want to take it slow. So, what I suggest you should do is get on your computer, because you probably have a computer at this point, or perhaps a Chromebook or something of that nature, and start writing down observations in your hometown. Maybe ask your parents if you could set up a little observation post for yourself. They're usually pretty cheap. You don't need the most expensive observation techniques, okay? You don't need a $600 observation kit, okay? Although they are fun, trust me. You don't need them just yet. That's when you get your own house, and then you can put it anywhere you want. But what you want to do is look for ways to build your own and look how they work. Okay, you check out the National Weather Service, go to your local library, or Google it. More likely your local library is maybe a little passé. I'm probably showing my age, but definitely there's a lot of great tips there. Also, I want to introduce you to this book right here. Okay, let's see if you can see that. It's called the National Audubon Society Field Guide to North American Weather. Now, this is a new copy. I have actually had an old one long ago that has been severely beaten up. But it's really great because it gives you like an idea of all the different cloud types. Okay, I'm probably showing this horribly. Okay, so like, what a supercell looks like, snowfall, different types of fog. It's a really great toolkit to start off on your journey, okay? It's a little bit wordy, okay? So if you're still working on your comprehension skills, you younger kids out there, that's okay. Hey, look, everyone learns at a different rate. It's fine, okay? So it's a little wordy, so you might want to take some time to read it, but it's well worth it. The key to being a good meteorologist is not the latest model guidance, is not being a math whiz, although that certainly helps. It's being able to pick up the little things, little observations. It's almost like being like a detective, like Sherlock Holmes or something like that, where you're looking for that one little detail, that one little clue that tells you how everything comes together. Because like I said, you're going to get a lot of things thrown at you as you're getting older, okay? A lot of different theories, a lot of different points of view. The best thing to do, especially at your age, let's say it's starting at 6 and going up through 16, is keep it simple. And look at the observations, look at the models. That's another great thing that you guys have that I didn't have as a kid. I had the GFS model and a European model that showed me one day at a time for 7 days. For one model site that was free, that showed really poor graphics. So you guys really are in the golden age of meteorology. So definitely take advantage of it. And don't be afraid to screw up. Everyone screws up. Everyone busts. We'll talk about that at another time. But trust me, try to understand the observations first. Write them down in a book. And look at how the weather progresses. Don't worry about getting it right or wrong. Don't worry about whether you got the right snow amount or what someone says on social media. None of that matters. None of that matters, okay? What I want you to focus on is just watching the weather, looking how it evolves. Watch the satellite picture. Look how a storm grows. That's the beauty. Don't ever lose that. As you get older, and as you go through this field, you're going to run into people who are all about model data. They're all about automation. They're all about getting the best forecast, the lowest percentage. You know, that's not meteorology. That's mathematical analysis. You're missing the true beauty. When you get a chance to look at a satellite picture and see it grow, and see a storm develop, and watching the different changes in the weather, the beauty, if you're missing the beauty of those observations, you're missing what meteorology is all about. And by the way, if you're a young person and you're not really into doing TV or social media like this, that's fine. There are so many things you could do. You could work on environmental studies. You could work on how to make sure people get out of harm's way. You can work on maybe the latest tornado detection. Or maybe you really like math. Whatever that may be, it's okay. Focus on that. Or find your own unique path. Hey, when I started out with this, no one thought about doing their own weather business online on a WordPress page. Sometimes you have to go your own path, and that's okay too. So, like I said, if you're a young meteorologist, the first thing I want you to do, the first thing you should do, is enjoy the weather. Don't get bogged down in what's right or wrong. Just enjoy it. Make some observations. Type them down. Save them. And go back and look at them. And look how the weather evolves. If you can understand the beauty and the evolution of the weather pattern, and you can pick out those little details, that makes all the difference. Well, have a wonderful weekend out there. We'll be back next weekend with another Young Meteorologist tip.